Nothing. A song by Pink that came on Shuffle when I was on.
See, talk about like my movie record. I can't remember all those words to the song.
I do have like a weird song lyric.
You listen to one, there's something like those songs in Oh Brother We're Out There the other day. You started singing after listening to them once.
There's one I really like, but I'm looking for.
Something little baby, go to sleep, little baby.
Oh, that's fun. That wasn't the one I knew before.
Fun one. Oh, Mike.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
I'm shocked by the revelation you don't have the mats out at all times.
We actually don't have very much left in this flat anymore. We're most of it is moved down to the new place.
Ah,
You'll have to come down and see when it's all.
sounds good. Yes, hello, Madison. Come on then.
I was very good in the tournament, dude. I was
Wait.
Saturday wasn't very good. Oh, sorry.
Well, you're not very good, Ross, is still pretty good.
I was annoyed mainly with the first match. Like I fought him a bunch of times and beaten him comfortably, and I was just not there, you know.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, it did look like your timing was just a bit off, and it kind of wasn't coming right.
Yeah, I guess I need. That was frustrating and annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, that is well, and it's one of the perils of being at your level. Is everyone expects you to be on point, you know, every single time, and actually that's pretty hard, given how much you can, you know.
Yeah, I want to get back competing consistently now because I don't want it to be the norm, you know.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We're waiting. What ready for Meg? I wonder if Megan's just. When Megan's
not on yet.
She always goes, hello.
Hey, Madison, say hi to Ross. Come on.
Okay. Who's that?
That's Madison.
Madison. I can see Madison's tail.
Yeah, that's that over there. He's not very cooperative, really.
Typical cat.
Yeah.
We have to serve them.
Yes.
Uh, 25th, we're open, Mike.
Yeah, well, but as expected, separated drilling still.
Yeah, but you know,
which makes sense. Yeah. You might still not see me for a while because we still got the my brother-in-law is still not very well with his underlying, so we're still being a bit careful.
Yeah, that's very understandable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm so unreasonable. Don't kill people, she says. You know, it's I only want to kill a few people.
Okay. They seem to be getting it under control now. I don't know, numbers wise.
Yeah, I think we're going in the right direction. Maybe a bit more slowly than one would like, but yeah, I think we'll be back. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, it's not a very long time.
No. I think past it, right? I don't know. The vaccine will work, and they reckon they can get that to like the most vulnerable in September. So that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be a big help if they can do it that quick. Yes, hello.
Oh, you knew.
Oh,
Hello.
No, I think this is the old place, but it just looks different because they've taken everything out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, not the new place yet. So, yeah, no internet there for 10 days, unfortunately. And lack of furniture.
More mat space.
We saw about it. Yeah.
Is Susie decorating then?
Sorry?
Is Susie decorating the new place?
Like that, this place would be that. Well, if we get people in to do it, then
yeah.
exciting. But when this is done, it's going to be very different. Like this amazing net, this whole top floor is currently kitchen and living room split.
Yeah. Okay, open it up.
Open it up.
Stick the hole in that wall. Stick the hole in the wall.
We can have uninterrupted mats throughout the entirety of it.
Yes, that is.
It's going to be really cheap flooring, man.
I know Pete yesterday was saying, oh, now the taekwondo has nowhere that you can teach.
Oh, yeah.
I was close, being like, we're about to have a big empty
Flat. Yeah, no, I don't think so. And this isn't big. How many kids could you fit in here kicking? Oh. Any news, guys? Anything going on?
No. Boring. Just wait for life to get back to normal.
Delivering online training of my own to hundreds of volunteers. It's a lot harder over the internet, I have to say. I'll be glad when that's back in person as well.
I bet that's difficult.
But yeah, no, that's basically the whole week for me. It's trying to get that finished. Maybe I'll put out an instructional. That would make it easier. Just record it all and then sell it to them.
It's a way to learn these days. Yeah. That's what I'm doing for my accountancy qualification. You just record everything. You do exam questions and sell the course.
It makes a lot of sense if you can do it. It's tricky for us because we're so small. It's all kind of do it yourself. So I have various colleagues trying to master the technology, which is some are more IT literate than others.
Yeah, the young generation are pretty IT literate, especially new people these days.
Well, it's interesting. It varies a lot. I find that some young people are really good. Some it's like people, the way people interact is different. Their way of using phones and things is different. But lots of people who are young still don't understand like the underlying how it works stuff.
Yeah, that's experience, isn't it? Because I remember when I first started with my profession, I was really bad on Excel, and it's I've been in it like 6-7 years now, and I'm a bit of a pro at it. But yeah, when I first started, I knew nothing about it. Even I went to university and played around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of it you just learn, and then that's the other thing. You get some people who are really good at the one particular area that they deal with. So they're really, really good at Excel. They know everything about it, but then they can't send an email. And you see that a lot, particularly in things like lawyers, accountants, like where if you have a particular area of work.
Yeah.
can't tell if Ross is starting to teach or if he's just warming up.
He's asking me to do something and I'm being really slow about it. He's like, keep your shoulder on my face, no the other way.
The other face.
Bring it wrong.
Yeah, a little bit. Right. So, deep half guard. Lots of ways of entering for it. I mean, you know, hit it a lot from. I like hitting it from sit-up guards. But so you can put your arm under here, but most of the work now is done by walking your feet away from your opponent. Okay.
Should we rotate?
Are we? I think we're all right. So, like, I've got the underhook on the leg here. What she can do is make this very difficult for me to get up onto my shoulder, and she'll do that by kind of slight pinching her knees together almost, and getting that top knee down towards my hip. So now there's no way I'm going to shovel that up, but I can still go deep half by walking my feet out and away from my opponent, right? So although I've got a very shallow underhook on this leg, and this can be exaggerated further by Susie dropping her hip, but we'll just start here for now. So here, I can still go deep half with this underhook by walking my feet away from my opponent. So yeah, just allow your legs straight and don't stay heavy. So here, you see how I can go deep half with her keeping this left knee heavy. So try getting the left knee to the hip, please. Good. There's no way I'm going to get that up. She's starting to apply pressure through my face. Cross face, cross face. Get your arm around my back. Good. Yeah. But I can still go deep half even when I'm flattened here by walking my feet around. And now I can use these two underhooks to start pushing it up and over the top of me, so I can start moving down to get my head to the hips. So I've got these two here. I push over and I make sure I keep this leg straight. So now I'm into a solid deep half guard. Always looking to keep this leg straight. Don't want this knee hitting the ground here. But even if it does, the fix for it is the same. So if this knee hits the floor here, the way I fix it again is I shovel the weight over the top to try and make this leg as light as possible. I don't want her hips coming down onto my hips. So if she moves, moves her butt this way, yeah, now it's going to be hard. What I want to do is to get the weight back up onto the top leg by pulling this hip up, and now I walk my feet back square, and I'm in deep half guard again. So she pops up. Right here. Go in deep half guard. I can throw a really shitty underhook in on this leg. Whenever this happens, it's pretty much guaranteed your opponent will cross face you and pinch their knees together. So now your arm is crumpled. It should be fairly easy to get this underhook here. You keep it fairly low, so this one on my left hand. To get the deep half guard now, I walk my feet away from my opponent. This is made easier by shoveling both up. So I'm pushing her up with both hands. And there's my deep half. My head moves down towards her hips. I'm cool. This works on a standing opponent as well. So sit up guard. I underhook as I fall down. Here, as I'm falling, I'm dragging this out. Now it's very unlikely for her to stay standing here. If she does, you'll start working to like X guards. So Susie goes onto her back and I can do it. She sits up onto me. So if you want to put deep half guard here, she can underhook now and start looking to light onto her back and get this reaction here. My counter to this is to try and drag my left knee down over the arm. She'll stay holding onto my legs. Here. I may even cross this. Here. So I'm going to just slowly drop my hip. So make sure your arm doesn't get tangled up under my leg there.
Okay.
So, but you want to keep a very shallow underhook. So it doesn't matter how shallow it is, you see how little of the arm now is under my leg. And on this side. So even if a lot of pressure is coming forward, see Susie's hips are facing this way. What she will do is both palms will do this. There. She'll do it more though. So cup. Good. So both palms up. There. And now she's going to just adjust slightly, bringing her head underneath me, going to a full knee half guard. She wants to keep her knees pointing to the ceiling. She doesn't want to turn too far. And she wants to get her head underneath her opponent. So, pull in deep half guard. We can twist it down, please. We can do it just totally committed to this leg and not do it. So I have been showing, coming up here, I've been using the underhook to shovel them forwards in order to make this back leg light. And this has been a secondary thought, the underhooking the leg here. And the reason why is because every time you do this, what will happen is your opponent will shoot this knee down to the hip, crumpling your arm, and then hip switching. So you do not want to keep your underhooking arm underneath her top leg when she does this. Because it kind of applies an Americana, it's really uncomfortable. So from here, it looks like a pretty shitty position. And it is, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong here. This hand, left hand, on the knee with an underhook. Now, if we just shimmy round a little bit, so circles more and more. And now cross this. So you can see where my hand is under the thigh here. I am going to push up with this grip. You don't need to do it very much. So big reaction, too big. Keep the cross fist, try to crush my head, Suze. All your weight going through my face. So watch. Up and walk. Eventually that cross fist will slip above your head. And now you'll be able to adjust to a full deep half guard, where she's in quite a bit of trouble now.
Is it still kind of off if I've already hip switched something?
No, it's only when I get underneath you. So off that. Any questions so far, guys?
No, that makes sense.
Good. So yeah, throwing the underhook here, they don't want you getting this leg up onto the shoulders. What they'll do a lot is knee will drive into the hip. It's kind of like a knee change. You want to let go of the leg there, the cross face will come in, and now they'll hip switch. So you'll end up just here, cupping the thigh. You've got to push up and at the same time walk your feet in a circle. So, and eventually that cross face will slip. Now she feels she's like in a little bit of trouble here, because all I need to do now is underhook the leg, and because she's already sitting on the floor, my sweep is very easy to do. You plant your feet, you bridge into your opponent. So up, and make sure you get these double underhooks on this leg to start with. Because her butt was already on the ground, your bridge is, she can't counter your bridge by lifting her hips up. So now we're coming immediately into a double under this position and start looking apart. So once I get Susie on top of me, best thing for her to do is to probably start to float then and not keep her butt on the floor, because it's too easy for me to get up. So you want to hook the leg, hip switches, and drops. Do not keep the underhook on that leg, she will hurt your arm. So you will be twisted here across this. Push up, and now walk in a circle. Right, you see Susie pops her knee back up, so she's got elevation on her hips now. So now it's going to be very hard for me to bridge and turn in because her hips are high. You can do it, and whenever you want to do the sweep, you have to hit an underhook with both hands. So both hands want to be underneath her legs. If you turn around this, I want this. Can come here as well, but this is pretty good. If you're struggling to get this underhook underneath this leg, give yourself more room. The outside leg hooks the heel. That's unusual, the knee will be bent like this. The leg will probably be fairly straight. You hook the heel, you lift the leg, and that will allow this here. You can now come back to here, plant your feet, bridge over your near side shoulder, like here. And now I turn in without dropping my hips. Right knee, left knee, and immediately into solid double under passing. So that's your standard deep pass sweep, I'd say, Nogi, is to bridge into your opponent. We see a lot of people do spinning. That's not the right way to finish the sweep. The right way is to lift your hips up, drop the knee to the ground, and make sure, so it's our standard drill. Elevating your hips, knee to the ground, and now I want to be able to get to all fours whilst keeping my hips up off the ground. What people would do wrong would be they'd be holding the leg and try to spin as fast as they could into their opponent to finish the sweep. With your hips on the floor, it's going to be very difficult to finish the sweep. Correct mechanics of it: double unders, bridge your hips up. Do not drop your hips together. Bridge, knee, and then immediately in the double under passing. Still making sense, guys?
Yeah.
Good.
As long as they don't have to do it.
No, you don't have to do it. Yeah. So I just wanted to cover like how you get out of a fail kind of deep half entry. Freddie is very good at doing that. He did that to me in the tournament the weekend, which I kind of first round I want to forget. Freddie's like just too big to do. I really need to get back training, so I'm competing again to get that out of my system. So, what happens when we try shooting deep half guard? They switch their hips, they pinch their knees in order for you not to get underneath them. You can still fix it, still get there. So, here, if Susie doesn't switch, then same thing, right? I use my underhook to get a bit of weight up off of this lower leg, and I straighten the leg and lie on my back. Susie to stop this will cross this and switch the hips, and now we've got a very shallow underhook, and I'm twisted. From here, I shovel forwards with both this shallow and this shallow underhook. I push them up above me. The shoulder slips above my face, and now I can start walking in a circle to get underneath my opponent. Yeah. Susie will, and now her hips are high, so I want to continue circling to get this leg straight. I want this leg bent at all. So if you ever find yourself with this knee bent, continue coming round. Make sure they're not getting underneath this far arm. Hook the heel. Elevate the leg to feed this little shelf here. So we've got one hand on the lower hip and one hand just above the knee here. So I can give up on that hook, plant my feet, bridge over like this. I drop my knee, turning in, and now I let go, so I cup both hips. I can start passing off of this. Lots of different ways of passing here. You can just straight up stack and be horrible. Good in it, Suze. Or you could pull the hips up on top of you. I gotta get back training.
Everybody come round to our house home for us.
Yeah, please. Right. So we've got.
We won't be really worried about you, Russ, until it's Susie saying, Russ has got to get back training. Russ has got to get back training.
Yeah. Well, we've got a pretty good week this week. So because we're in this flat, and so we have nothing to cook with in this flat, it's all gone. So we've got to eat out every night this week.
It's tough.
We have to.
We've got to do it. I'm so happy. Right. So
I'm sure there's salad on delivery.
So we've got depath entry counter, which is see the underhook coming in. And just be wary of switching like this, guys, too quickly. Because if Susie keeps hold of my top leg and I drop my hip through her hand, I'll probably hit it. It's like an Americana. So drag the lower knee down to the hip.
Am I holding on? Or
No, you'll let go now. And now to here. You see her arm is in the wrong position. She wants this to be underhooking, kind of just behind me like this. Even a very shallow one will be great for taking a little bit of weight up in that direction. So my shoulder will slip across her face. So Susie's counter to this, it is, oh, and I can step out of this. So this is, to finish this part, would be like framing here and stepping out and then bringing this lower knee into the hip. Sorry, is that tapping? Sorry. I didn't even know. So Susie will shovel me up a little bit. My shoulder shifts up above her head, and now she can start walking to center and bringing her head underneath me. It will fall deep path like this. She will then, she's not going to keep this high and open, because if I can underhook this, I can start looking to attack chimeras and triangles. So elbow tight and cupping the inside of the knee to hide this. Susie, to get double unders, will hook my leg, elevate it, and now left, not too high, just enough so you can get your hand under my leg. And where she's targeting is just above the knee. Yeah, right there. And the other one is on the hip here. She will now put my leg back down, placing her feet on the floor. She'll bridge onto her head like this, keeping these grips. Near side knee here, and now this hand will transition to the other hip at this point. So, no, not inside, never inside, so start squaring up. There. And now tripoding, she'll start stacking, crushing. Not bad. Susie's tripod needs a bit of work.
how do I tripod if I'm centered? I can't put my head on it. I'm gonna regression. I'll stop.
Starting here. You don't put your head on the floor. You just go.
This is your tripod then.
It is though, and it's going through you. You're my head. So you can screw up your tripod though if you kind of step too close or too far away from your opponents. You'll get used to where you walk. So what Susie did there was kind of get up first and then try to readjust. So there's a period there where your opponent moves. So what you want to do is lean in and then put your feet into the right place for the stack. Okay. So, let's do the, to show you what can go wrong here. Oh. So, deep half guard again. Underfoot my leg. So, sometimes your opponent will be floating, and what their goal can be is to try and step over your head. But you can also do that as well. Your goal can be to move your head behind your opponent, stop looking at the threat in the back, and come up for sweeps there. So, like, both people will be trying to get over it. What I want to do is to get my leg over the head and then immediately get this hip down to the ground and cross this on the other side, like this, to start looking to pass Susie's guard in a reverse half guard instead. I can also look to step over to attack this leg. So you do have to be wary of that. All this is to defend is turn in the right way when you see that your opponent's attacking knee bar. So if your opponent's attacking knee bar, what you don't want to do is to start looking at your toes. All Susie needs to do is to turn her body that way. Now her knee is facing away from my hip. So if I was to drive my hip through there, it bends the leg, which is fine. What Susie will then do is get this leg, your right leg, put it there, and she'll start kicking this top leg open to free the leg. So, down please. Susie goes straight underhook. Be wary of your, I can also not cross this, I can lean over my opponent and start looking to get hold of the arm. Be wary of the hip switch. Always let go of that leg and just cut the lower leg. So Susie's hips are facing me. First, lot shoulder pressure here. One hand is already in the right place underneath my hamstring. The other one will come up just onto my rib cage here. Now, it's like you're throwing something over your head with like just two flat palms like this. So she'll do that. So just two flat palms pushing me up. That is plenty to start looking to go deep half guard. So now she continues to walk, keep shoveling me over the top of your suit, and there is her deep half guard. She goes under the leg here. If you're no, so wait, so you're already under the leg, which is fine. So you've got, it shouldn't be too much of a problem if you've got so deep on your opponent like this. To get underneath the leg. So she's already under, so she doesn't need to. Even if your opponent steps out here, what you will do is plant your feet and bridge immediately. So now she'll start turning into me. She's dropped her hip, so it's not going to work. Turn in, keeping the hip up. Continue turning. Get your knees, get your knees, get your knees. And then stack. So higher. If my counter is to get above Susie's head, grabbing the leg and start sliding down to the knee bar, Susie will probably straighten her leg actually. So keep her leg straight because it makes it slippery. And now she will point the toes and turn away. From here, she's out of the knee bar pretty much. I can look to continue to move to the saddle, which would be me turning and cracking this leg, but she will keep this leg a long way away. And her defense is pretty much the same. Now I'm starting to move to the heel hook. This outside foot will come in on the inside of my thigh, calf kiss, and now she'll start kicking away from her leg. It's just know when to turn that way when your leg gets big. So. I hit a really sick ankle once where, as the guy was sitting down, I shrimped. So he was attacking this leg and actually shrimped and slipped the knee line. So now he's sitting down to a leg that isn't there anymore. I threw this leg over his head, all the way over, onto this leg. He turned the wrong way into me where I hit the knee bar, but we're actually, it's a saddle entry now. So if you feel like as your opponent is, and it's risky because you're turning the wrong way for the defense, but the correct way for the potential counter. Underhooking the leg, so this isn't a deep half one, your opponent can sit over in half guard to attack with this. You can plant your spare leg, the one that I'm not attacking, and shrimp, but you've got to straighten your leg as you shrimp, because it slips, because it allows it to slip. Now I'm sitting down, only holding an ankle. Susie will throw that leg over my head, and now she's got my leg isolated in pretty much a mirror position of where I was. The guy I was against turned the wrong way, looking at his foot. Susie will pinch her knee, putting her head over the top of my foot like this. Now, the reason why she does this is it makes it difficult for me to alter that angle where my knee is pointing. So my knee is pointing into her hips currently, where she wants it. So she uses her head over my foot to stop me from turning this way. So you see her snagging. That's why the ballerina toe point helps a lot in making your legs slippery in order to alter that angle. If I point my toes, it makes the contour that she's trying to take advantage of smaller. So now I can slip my foot, and now my knee is facing the wrong way for her to finish the knee bar. So she's got to really clamp her head up and over my toes. Toes. So now you see it's harder for me to slip. If she's really working that head, driving into my toes, now that's stuck. I can't slip that. So I can't stress enough how important it is to, clamp your head when you're controlling the knee bar. You can, of course, pass it underneath this arm. So Susie could punch this behind my knee and duck your head over. That's it. And finish here. No, don't turn. Keep your hips facing. So now this is very hard for me to, my objective is the same, but this is a fully locked up knee bar. The only way I can save myself here is to try and open the knee enough to allow for that rotation on my knee.
Something went crack.
With my hip.
Okay.
If her knee's up, so here you've got to be going double-handed on this top knee, opening it, and now we're cool. But now she's got an outside heel hook waiting to be taken there. So, defending your legs ain't easy, but that's how you do it. Thoughts on the knee bar, guys? I want that kind of knee bar defense and leg lock defense to be just second nature, man.
I always feel I've got a gap in the middle of my leg lock stuff. I kind of know the straight ankle stuff, and then I move directly to heel hooks, and everything in the middle is a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, so toe holds and knee bars, they're pretty, like knee bars are largely the same as heel hooks. Toe holds, straighten your leg. If you ever see somebody playing around with your foot and looking to lock up that figure of four, we've covered this in a number of positions. You straighten your leg. And if your opponent continues to go after it there, if they're doing it well, they'll end up in knee bar positions where you've got your counters for that. Or they'll actually end up giving you their back. So one of the most common ones is from half guard. Knee shield. This foot's often floating about here. You got the toes. Here. Susie's defense is boot on and leg straight. If I continue to try and go for this, what Susie will do is push my leg inside hers. And now I end up attacking the toe hold while she's looking to threaten my back. Which, if she keeps her leg dead straight and toes flat like this, so just jam that up there like this. So I'm pretty, pretty strong. I'm gonna really struggle finishing this on a straight leg. It's not gonna happen. Where Susie now can start throwing her hooks in and looking to threaten my back. So get your hooks in, please. And this goes everywhere. If we're in a De La Riva guard, often common position, people dive for toe holds. Bent leg, foot right in front of me. Toes here. To finish, I will step in to try and bend the leg. Susie will counter by straightening, pointing the toes. Not like that, like that. Now here, there's not going to be any back kicks because I haven't committed for it yet. But certainly it's a rolling toe hold. So if I'm rolling and Susie straightens, as I roll, I actually end up rolling into a back kick. So yeah, anyone grabs your toes, guys. Straight. And yeah, hit their back. We've taken our clock, so I don't actually know what time it is.
8:40.
8:40.
What do you want to do for 5 minutes?
Any questions, guys? So I covered that deep half entry. Steve's very good at like deep half stuff. You are going to get cross-faced in deep half like that. And the major risk, I guess, of doing it is potentially your opponent getting onto leg locks. But if you're comfortable with them, you can actually make that kind of work for you.
Well, so I was also going to ask, when the stuff you've done today, that's when people are kind of clamping their knees and dropping their hips one way. I mean, my reaction to the deep half entry is kind of to go the other way to try and get the top leg straight and come over. I mean, is that just a completely different system that you're doing different things from?
So they're trying to prevent you from doing that. So it's likewise with me, Mike. I far prefer kind of allowing the deep half and then passing off of it. There's some guys who are very good at it. You probably shouldn't be allowing yourself to go there in the first place. But the counters we've covered in the past have been when we get put in the deep half underhooking here, is actually throwing our weight in the direction that they would be trying to throw us if we would switch, allowing the leg to straighten, but then beating them on this switch for the cowboy pass. And mixing it up is totally fine. We then look to clear this leg over the head and slide off into an underhook.
So it's essentially, it's a question of, are you accepting deep half, going through it to try and get to the pass, or are you trying to stop them entering it and go from there?
Yeah. I mean, particularly so big, powerful guys, I'd probably go for the passing system that we've tried using tonight, where we're simply not letting them get underneath us. We have to do that with that kind of hip switch, with that left knee on the hip, but that can still be countered in the way I showed you by them pushing you up over the top of us like this. And guys, your own weight, similar weights to you. You probably could go through it as well. But yeah, it's both are legitimate ways to try and pass deep half.
I'm always looking for solutions to deep half. Lots of people in my division like it and are far too good at it.
Yeah, so this cross space, I think, would be, when we get back, I'll do a bit of work with you with it. This like heavy knee pinch down. And I'll covering how people counter it, that little shovel forward, slip in that cross space. You could always then just simply attach the cowboy pass to what we've done today. So if you hip switch, there, and you're killing their deep half with a cross space, but then they start shoveling you up and you feel like you're going there, you pop up onto this knee and catch them out on the drop. So you could combine the both of them.
That makes sense.
That was a good question. That was good. Yeah, it's just like, and this seems that you can kind of go ahead with something, try to stop somebody from getting into a position, or you can kind of allow that position to happen to get an early reaction on the subsequent position that they're going for. And I leave that decision to you guys. I mean, even I get it wrong sometimes. So, yeah. Good session, guys. Is there any other questions?
It was all good, really good.
I see you got a haircut.
And a shave as well.
Yeah. I'm walking around London and everyone's looking smart with haircuts.
Yeah, I rushed down to the barber as soon as it was open like last week, and I was like, "Yeah, I gotta get all cut."
I bet it felt good.
Yeah,
I mean, this is me forever now, so I don't.
No.
I quite liked your mohawk. I don't know why you actually shaved it off. I thought you looked.
Because I was getting a what do you call it? A friar tuck in the mohawk. It don't look good.
Oh, you should have added, yeah, because that's what I wanted to do. Get like a mohawk and like get like Japanese bodysuit. That's not. I think that's a nice look.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I'm all for it. I really like the mohawk. I was all for it, but unfortunately, I'm just now a bald man. Susie doesn't like it, but
No, I don't think you're going bald as fast as you think you are. I think you
I
need
am.
to go ahead.
I'm going bald.
Stop trying to be my dad.
Right. See you later, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for the class.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks
See
for
you
hanging out with
soon.
me.
Right.
Hopefully, see you on the 25th.
Indeed.
You, Mike, probably you a little bit later, but yeah.
I think me a bit later, but we'll all be back soon enough.
We'll be back.
Not long left.
I'll
See you later.
practice the Schwarzenegger.
Have fun with takeaways as well.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.